everybody, today we're going to go over some tips for Google Classroom and some tips for Google Calendar as is shown here. Now a lot of kids ask, okay, well, I'm running late to a class and I don't want to have to wait for me to type it in Google Classroom and then join my class, and it's a lot of waiting, it's a lot of blocking, I'm already late. But one way to eliminate this possibility is to just add it as a bookmark. Now the way to add it as a bookmark, let's just say, originally it'll show up as this. It'll just, you don't, it's not that noticeable. But you would press this little star in your search bar and it says bookmark this tab, and it turns blue, and you get to say, okay, it says bookmark added, and you get to rename it. So let's just keep it as classes. However, you can name it whatever you want. Let's put a smiley face. I like smiley faces. And it'll, okay, done. And it'll show up usually right here. However, because I have so many bookmarks by now, it shows up actually right here. But usually it would show up right here. So what you can do is that you can move it, and you can, you can style it however you might think it might be more convenient to you. You can even edit it by changing the name again, or you can move it to a different folder if you have folders. And sometimes I see kids doing this. They'll remove the actual name, they'll put a space, and they'll put save. And then only the icon shows up. So it's not taking up so much room in your icon bar, and you can, you see your email, Skyward, turn it in. They're kind of some obvious things that you don't need the full actual text to see. So that's just one tip. A lot of kids also ask, I'm in a bunch of clubs, I'm in a bunch of classes. How do I further organize my Google Classroom? Because it's a total mess. Some kids organize it by color. Some kids organize it by, like B1, G1, or just B day, and then, G day. I should use these tools that I have. I personally like it, the B1, G1, B3, B4. And one way to move it is that you would just scroll down to find the one that you like, to find the class that you would like. Say, okay, this is out of space. This is not my class, and I'll move it down. I'll just click and drag, and I'll move it down to wherever I think would fit better. So this is where I think would fit better in kind of these extracurriculars. Now this is much better. I would think it would be much better. Now, you can also use a stream, which I think is a very useful tool. If you guys don't know, the stream is a way to share tips and share homework assignments and ask questions to your teacher that's not via email. So some classes will have this, some classes will not. The way to tell this is just, go on your classes and to share something with your class. And you're able to type, you're able to add a YouTube video, you're able to add some files, whatever you might think would be beneficial for the class. I would really recommend keeping this class appropriate. Usually I just ask questions that I would think the majority of the class would have. If we missed homework, I would be like, what is the homework for here? Or whatever, inquire. I usually add some music theory notes for others to see. So just helping out the community. Now, not all classes will have this. For example, my cave class will have it. However, NHS will not. It's not anywhere. You can look everywhere, but it's not anywhere. So I can't type anything. I can't share anything with my class, which is unfortunate, but I understand the reasons why. So you just have to keep an eye out for those. But if you really do have a question for any of your classes, I would really recommend using the stream if you do have it. Now, to use to do, the to do function is a way to see if you have any missing assignments, what's upcoming that's due, and anything that you may have missed within the past week. So you can access it in two ways. You can press this button right here, or you can click on the side icon and just press to do. Now, usually you would not get these two options only if you're teaching a class and a teacher has added you to the Google Classroom as a teacher so you can edit. But usually it would only show up as this. These would be the things that you would see. So you would press to do, and you would see an overview of everything that you have, including, things that have no due date, things that are due later this week. I don't want to see all of them. Let's put this up. If I can put it up. There you go. So you can see things that are due this week. I don't have anything due this week. However, next week I have my natural gardens exam project that's due. So I know, okay, it's due on Monday, September 28th. And if it had a time date by 11:59 p.m., it would, or yeah, 11:59 p.m., it would tell me it's due by this time. Anytime after that would be late. If you are behind, which is totally, you can always check your missing assignments. This is the area where you can see you've turned in things late or things that you have not turned in that is past the due date. Not done is pretty self-explanatory as well, but in case you wanted to boast, you can also see that here as well. One way to really help you during your days of LHS, I think, is to really turn assignments in. Now, a lot of kids think, oh, well, I turn my. A lot of kids, however, do not turn in their assignments, not because they didn't finish it, but just because they forget. Now, here's an example. Let's say, I'm done with my natural garden exam project. Okay. So let's say that it's September 28th or September 29th in my case, and I have this project done. However, my teacher does not see that I have it done because I haven't pressed turn in. Now, this is a huge problem because your teachers cannot see your actual work until it is turned in, and they have to go searching. Did you turn it in? Even though your actual work may be done, you didn't turn it in so she can see it. So I think that's one of the most crucial things. So please, please make sure that you're turning in something. Now, I think another tip would be is if you're not using something, like it was a tip that your teacher posted as an assignment by accident, or it's something regarding class of 2021 that's not valid anymore, it's past the due date, or whatever that may be. Let's say, alternatives to campus visits. Now, it wouldn't be this exact example, but let's say it's something regarding your classmates or, something about homecoming of last year. Obviously, it doesn't count anymore. It's not relevant. So you can just press mark as done. So now so your teacher knows you've turned it in, it's not relevant, and it's just something that's less on your to-do list. It's not flying there and it's not, you're not curious about what it is. It's out of the way. It's not confusing you on what assignments are actually due, and it just makes your things overly very much cleaner. Another tip I think is that kids are worried, oh, it's the beginning of the semester and I don't know who's in my class. Well, there's actually a way that you can check this. So, one way you can check this, or the only way that I think of, is that you can go to any class, usually by the beginning of the semester, you'll have mostly all of your Google Classroom set up with your teachers, and you'll be added. And what you can do is that you can go to a class and you can press people. Now, this will give you easy access to your teachers if there's many of them. In this case, only one. You can email them. You can also see everyone that's in your class and, of course, their profile pictures if you have them. If you need to email them about something specific, you don't have to guess, and it'll bring you right to it. You don't have to insert anything into your Gmail. It'll just show you. So now you feel more reassured about who's in your class. You're not guessing until the last second, and you now know. Now moving on to Google Calendar. Google Calendar is a task list and is a calendar that you can use as another way to check what you can access it via here. You just press it and you get here, and this is this week, and you can see, okay, my assignments that were assigned this week. Now, this doesn't tell you when they're due, it just tells you what was assigned. It doesn't tell you if you did turn it in. If you wanted to know, oh, did I turn that in? I don't remember. You just press it, and it'll tell you, yes, you turned it in. You can go forward 2 weeks and see what is due in the near future. You can customize it to a specific class. Oh, I only want to know Spanish. Okay, that's only Spanish. So it really is helpful if you need a different way of organizing your stuff. Okay. Now, this is not the only Google Calendar. I have seen some kids and some of your counselors will start signing up kids via Google Calendar, like schedule a meeting. Now, the way to do this is it's just to go and just find Google Calendar. Usually, if you type in Google Calendar, it'll show up. But in our case, I already have it right here. Now I just add it as a bookmark, so it makes it much easier for us to access. There we go. Now this one's more specific. It's just a calendar for everything that you might need. You can it gives you the whole month. It gives you your meets that you have scheduled, if you've scheduled meets, and it also gives you, your birthdays, your clubs, and it gives you your tasks if you've added something. Now if you want to add an event or add a birthday, add a party, add whatever that may be, you just click create and you just add something. Let's just say interact, and whatever it might be, it's an event from this time to this time, for example, and then add a guest, add description or attachments. Now if it's via Google Meet, you can actually add the link there, and it'll remind you on your computer if you're on your computer at the time. All right, you can also change colors, which I think is very fun. Let me see. You say birthdays, options for birthdays, and you can change the color. So all my birthdays that I have marked will be now, I think, kind of like a pink or more of a red. So now it's orange. Just change it to whatever you feel is best. Organize it to however you think works for you. And yeah. So I hope you guys learned a lot of stuff from this, and hopefully this will make your experience with high school and your experience with Google Classroom and Google Calendar that much easier.